Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Krishna Rukmini Jaya Satyabhama. Krishna Rukmini Jaya Satyabhama. Jaya Nittai Gauranga Jaya Nittai Gauranga Nittai Gauranga Jaya Nittai Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotra Shatashri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindha Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad-Bhagavad-Gita ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 2, contents of the Gita summarized, text number 50. Buddhi yukto jahati ha ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmad yogaya yujyasva yoga karma sukaushalam. Word to word meaning. Buddhi yuktaha, one who is engaged in devotional service. Jahati, can get rid of. Iha, in this life. Ubhe, in both. Sukrita dushkrite, in good and bad results. Tasmat, therefore. Yogaya, for the sake of devotional service. Yujyasva, be so engaged. Yogaha, Krishna consciousness. Karmasu, in all activities. Kaushalam, art. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad actions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, O Arjuna, which is the art of all work. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Since time immemorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of his good and bad work. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his real constitutional position. One's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one to surrender unto Lord Sri Krishna in all respects and become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of resultant action. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. How many of you know to cook? Cooking, how many of you know? 1, 2, not many of you cook at home. You don't cook? Get cooked at home, okay. See, we all remember when we initially learned cooking. You know, we go through some books where the menu is written, or from somewhere our elders, our mother or mother-in-law or father, someone, whoever is expert in cooking, they will tell us, you add these ingredients, you add this much water, add this much salt, this is the way you make this item. So I remember when I was working, I was away from home, I was tired of eating out. I decided one fine day that I'll cook by myself. So I searched to the internet for some recipes, started cooking, speaking with my mother, understanding and cooking. But we see that after we cook, the output is not what we feel it should be. And then you call back to that person saying, I have made this, but the taste is somewhat different, the texture is somewhat different. And immediately our mother or whoever it is who has been cooking for so many years, immediately they will find out what small mistake we have done. They will say, maybe you should have added the salt little later, or this vegetable you have put earlier, or the gas should be on sim. Those 1 or 2 very, very fine things they will tell us, and when we follow that, we will see that immediately the taste of that entire food is completely different. Correct? So this is called the art or the technique or the secret of cooking. Something very, very fine. Grossly, we are doing the same activity. We are adding vegetables, we are adding water, we are adding salt, we are adding ghee, we are, putting it on the gas. Everything is same. But something very, very fine is there to bring out the difference, the real taste of that food. Same thing Krishna is also pointing out here. He is pointing out the art of working. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Kaushala means expert. How can you be an expert in the work that you do? So now one may ask, there are so many different types of work. Somebody is going to office, he is doing some accounts work. Somebody is some scientist in some organization, he is doing some scientific work. Somebody is a student, he is studying, that is a different type of work. Somebody is a housewife, she is sitting at home, she is taking care of the household chores. That is a different type of work. How is Krishna giving a solution to become expert in all these kinds of work? How is that possible? So for this we should understand that what does this expertise mean? Do you all agree that the purpose of any work that we do is either so that it gives us some happiness or it should give us freedom from suffering? Do you all agree? Do we work for any other reason other than this? Does somebody work so that I should get suffering? We don't, right? We all want to be happy. But the reality, the nature of this world is that any work that we do without this expert advice that Krishna is giving is bound to result in suffering. Krishna is talking about two kinds of work here. Ubhe sukruta dushkrite. Two kinds of work. Sukruta, dushkrita. Any work that we do can be categorized into these two activities. Sukruta, dushkrita. Sukruta means pious activities. Dushkrita means sinful activities. So, if we perform pious activities, what happens? From the Shastra, we understand that somebody who performs pious activities, he is blessed with four things, or at least one of these four things. That is Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, and Shri. Janma is birth in a very good family. So he doesn't have to struggle too much for his education, for his food, for being taken care. Very good parents, good values, all that is there. So we should understand, if you are born in a very good family, it is because we have done a lot of punya. So Janma. Then Aishwarya. Aishwarya means beauty or opulence. Opulence, sorry, not beauty, opulence or wealth. So if somebody is very wealthy, we have to understand he has done a lot of punya in the past. Then Shruta. Shruta means knowledge or intelligence. There are some students in the school we would have seen, very easily they are able to memorize, understand what is being taught. And for some students, the teachers conduct special classes. After school hours also they make them sit. In vacations also they make them come. But still they are unable to understand anything. So what is the difference? The difference is again, the person who is able to understand these things, he has done a lot of punya. And finally, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta and Shri. Shri means beauty. Some people, they are very beautiful, very hard, very handsome. So this also is caused by one's pious activities. So pious activities or activities that are sanctioned by the Vedas, they result in good parentage, good wealth, good intelligence or good knowledge and beauty. And the opposite is true of people who are engaged in sinful activities. So if somebody is engaged in sinful activities, then he loses his wealth, he loses his intelligence, he loses his beauty. He is born in a house where nobody is even taking care of him. So all the actions that we do can be categorized into these two things in this world. So then somebody may ask, then I can keep doing punya. Okay, I'll restrain myself from doing sinful activities, but I will do punya so that always I'm able to be born in a good family. I get a lot of wealth. I don't have to worry about taking care of my needs. I can live an opulent life. I'll have a very wonderful, healthy, physical, beautiful body. And I'll be very intelligent. I can handle all things. So somebody might say, I will do only punya. But Krishna is saying, no. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite. Jahatiha, you should give up both good and bad. Now, why is Krishna telling you give up good activities also? Because even let us assume that you are the most beautiful person in this world. You have the most wonderful family in this world. You are blessed with the best kind of intelligence in this world. All these opulences you have. But one day, we all have to die. We also have to undergo the process of old age. Can somebody say, I'm not going to get old? We have to suffer from diseases. Is it not? The richest person in this world, they also have to suffer from diseases. So people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they are all working to see how we can overcome these problems. How can we overcome this old age? How can we overcome disease? Some people have started trying to see whether they can get younger and control their aging, but no success in this, because the laws of material nature are so powerful that even though we may do so much of punya, we have to undergo the suffering of birth, disease, old age and death. So Krishna is saying, Jahatiha ubhe sukruta dushkrite. You give up good activities also, you give up bad activities also. Then somebody may ask, if I give up all activities, then what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Should I simply go to the forest and simply meditate without doing anything? No, that is not what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying, Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmad yogaya yujyasva. Engage yourself in work which is done as yoga. Tasmad yogaya yujyasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. This is the art of working. Krishna is not telling us to give up work. He is teaching us the art of working by which we are doing neither pious activities nor sinful activities. Pious activities are also giving us suffering. Sinful activities are also giving us suffering. But as long as we are there in this world, we have to act. Even though somebody says, I will do only pious activities, without our knowing, we are performing so many sinful activities. Just like we are walking on this road, so many germs and ants are we unknowingly not killing? When we are breathing air, so many germs are going inside, are we not killing them? Correct? So, even without our knowing, we are doing sinful activities. So, it is not possible that even for a second we can be without working in this world. Krishna himself is telling that in the Bhagavad-Gita. It is not possible. But it is possible to work in a certain way. A secret Krishna is revealing. If we work like that, we will be free from both the sinful reaction and the pious reaction. That secret Krishna is giving here in the Bhagavad-Gita. How one has to work. What is that secret? He says, Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yat juhoshi, dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. He says, all activities that you do it not for satisfying yourself, but for satisfying me, for satisfying Krishna. When this becomes the criteria of our work, whatever activity we do, whether you are cooking at home, whether you are studying, or whether you are going to office and earning money, whatever work you are doing, if you are doing it not for sense gratification, but for pleasing Krishna, then that work is free from both pious reaction and sinful reaction. This is the secret. Now, why this is the secret? Because if Krishna's satisfaction is not the goal of our work, then we can never be happy. You see, even the most successful people, let us take the example of the most successful lawyer, or the most successful scientist, or the most successful businessman. Day after day after day after day, even though they keep doing their work, ultimately they feel, I need to take a break. Correct? Why? Because that is the nature of material work. You become tired after some time, even though you are very good at it. You may be expert at doing that work, but you will become tired. You will think that, let me go on a holiday and come back later. But when you work for Krishna's pleasure, 24 hours, 365 days, one can keep on working. This is the test of what Krishna is telling. If you want to test whether what Krishna tells is correct or not, then just apply this one principle in your life. that every work that I do it for the satisfaction of Krishna. You will feel the happiness, the satisfaction. You will not feel tired. Why? Because this is what gives the soul happiness. We all have an intimate relationship with Krishna. And when we revive our relationship with Krishna by actively engaging our senses in serving Krishna, we experience happiness, we experience pleasure. This is the secret which Krishna is revealing. This one secret we apply in our life, you will see that whatever work we are doing, it will give us so much satisfaction. We have to do our duty as a father. I have to take care of my children. As parents, I have to take care of my children. But you take care of your children in a way that gives pleasure to Krishna. We all eat food, cook the food, offer it to Krishna and then have it. So cook food and have it in a way that it gives pleasure to Krishna. Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yat juhoshi, dadasi yat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Everything you do it as an offering to Krishna. Then what happens? We are freed from all the reactions. Arjuna also, he had this consideration in the beginning of Bhagavad-Gita. I have to kill so many people. They are all my relatives. How can I kill them? So what Arjuna said is correct. He does not want to do papa karma. I don't want to do sinful activities. But after he listened to Bhagavad Gita, what did Arjuna do? He killed so many soldiers. He killed his own relatives. But he did not have to suffer any reaction. Why? Because it was done under Krishna's order, under Krishna's direction. Similarly, in this material world also, there are so many activities that we have to do which are not necessarily correct. For example, suppose somebody is a businessman. Can a businessman be completely honest in his dealings? You go to any shop, that businessman will say, I am giving this to you at cost price. I am not charging any profit from you. Correct? They say like that. But in reality, he will be taking some profit. But if he stops selling his products like that, can he do business? He cannot do business. So, the nature of the activities of this world is that we have to sometimes tell lies. We have to sometimes do some wrong things. But when we offer the result of such work to Krishna, we are saved from that sinful reaction. So if that businessman is offering the result of that work to Krishna, then he is no longer bound by that sinful reaction. Just like Arjuna, even though he killed so many people, he was not having to suffer the reaction. Why? Because that work was not done for his own pleasure. It was done for giving pleasure to Krishna. So somebody may say, how can we develop this consciousness? We are always working, thinking, I should get happiness, I should get happiness, I should get happiness. But I never feel that I should work so that I should give Krishna happiness. Yes, it is very difficult because our consciousness is completely contaminated. We are thinking, I am this body, and if I satisfy this body only, I will get happiness. But the reality is, we are not this body. We are the soul within this body. And this soul can get satisfaction only when we serve Krishna. So, even to realize this, that I am not the body, I am the soul, it is not easy for people in this age. Therefore, Krishna has come in the form of a devotee to give us a process, to give us a method by which we can work for Krishna's pleasure, by which we can understand that we are not the body, we are the soul, by which we can understand that only when our work is done for the pleasure of Krishna, that work gives us satisfaction. And what is that method? That method is the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, when we start chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then, and when we start reading the Bhagavad Gita, then slowly that understanding starts coming. Slowly Krishna starts giving intelligence in our daily activities. What should be the motivation behind our work? This starts coming. So then what happens? We become expert in our work. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. All the work that we do, it does not become punya karma or papa karma, but it becomes yoga. We all think yoga means sitting in some asana, closing your eyes, breathing deeply. No, that is not yoga. Yoga means connecting yourself with Krishna. And you can connect yourself with Krishna simply by the work that we do. Simply by the work that we do, we can connect with Krishna if we do it in this consciousness. And this consciousness we can develop by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we'll stop here. Srimad-Bhagavad-Gita ki, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki. Now we'll